Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and today I'm recapping Game 5 of the regular season. Astros lose 5-2. Dodgers win. Framber Valdez gets the loss. It's kind of weird to say. It was kind of a boring-ish game. I mean, nothing really happened after the fifth inning, like the bottom of the fifth. The second half of the game was just kind of slow and kind of boring, which I don't like saying because I love baseball and I love the Astros, but nothing really happened. After that, the Astros had one hit, and I think the Dodgers maybe had three or four base runners. Nothing really happened. If you watched the first half of the game, you watched the game, which is kind of funny to say. I'm going to start with the pitching. Framber Valdez, I know he gave up 3 runs. He didn't look terrible. He looked fine the first 4 innings. The fifth inning got away from him, and that was bad. The 3 runs that ended up being the decision or the deciding factor in the game. But he just kind of got unlucky. I mean, they were all hard hit balls that could have all been turned for double plays, but they were just a little outside of the Astros' gloves for the first 2 outs of the inning, or what would have been the first 2 outs of the inning that ended up being hits. And so I know he looked not great, but I would be fine giving him another start. And I'm very critical of Framber Valdez. I am not a fan of his. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not a supporter of him, and I like to be critical of him when I see fit. This is not one of those times. I'm more than okay giving him another chance. He looked fine. Paredes came in and gave up 2 more runs. That ended up making it 5-2. And that was about it. After him, Scrub made his debut for the Astros, which he looked good. I believe he gave 2 1/3 innings, so he looked pretty good. Scrub, ironically, wasn't one. But I'll be here all night. But he looked pretty good. Not great by any means, but he looked good. To finish off and make his final debut, or the final debut of the night, the seventh pitcher to make his debut for the Astros pitching staff so far. We've played 5 games, people. This is the state of the Astros pitching staff. We have had 7 pitchers make their debut. Oh my goodness. Okay. Rodriguez made his debut. And for reference, because I gotta say this, the highest level he's ever been in is A, which is just insane that the Astros have had to go to A-level pitching. And don't get me wrong, 2017, incredible. We'll always remember 2017. Always will remember 2018, another great year. 2019, last year, was just one of the most fun years as an Astros fan ever. I mean, it was just awesome. 3 guys hitting 30 home runs, or 4 guys hitting 30 home runs, excuse me. It was incredible. But we are starting to see the cost of those 3 consecutive 100-win seasons with the pitching depth. We've given up a lot of pitchers these past few years to get Greinke, to get Maldonado not last year, but the year before, to get Verlander the year before that, to get Biagini and Sanchez last year. We're seeing, finally, the bills come and due. Our pitching depth is really shallow, and at this point, even though I don't think he's quite ready for it, I wouldn't be surprised if Forrest Whitley makes a couple appearances this year. That's kind of where we're getting to. Pitching depth is just non-existent. And for the offense, or as I should say, Carlos Correa, he had a 3-hit night, home run. He did the I'm listening thing to the Dodgers dugout, which was... Correa kind of clowned on the Dodgers, and I thought it was hysterical. He did that. He pointed Bellinger back over to the dugout afterwards, or after he threw him out at first. And I kind of got to address the elephant in the room. The benches cleared. It wasn't a fight, and I thought it was kind of funny watching the benches clear, and some of the players realizing, like, oh, I don't want to get too close to anybody, because if a baseball fight is not a fight, it is just posturing and yelling at each other. And they kind of knew, like, oh, if I get close to them, they're going to spit on me, and that's not good in this situation. And also the umps kind of panicking. They're like, oh, God, we can't let them get too close together because social distancing. Oh, no, what do we do? So that was kind of funny to watch. Joe Kelly is a loser. And I understand that I'm probably just passionate and a little heated after it happened, but you can't clown on the Astros after you, A, tried to hit one of them in the head. I mean, that was 98 at head level. Like, that thing got pulled bad, but good lord, that was intentional. He was trying to just drill Bregman in the head. So that was intentional. Then he kind of did a couple questionable to Yuli, which, again, come on, man. He stepped in front of Brantley when he was running to the bag, so there was that. And then after he struck Correa out, yeah, there you go, big boy, good swing. Like, come on. And then after all that, you run to your dugout? Like, come on. If you're going to do that and clown on the Astros, at least stay near the mound. Like, oh my. I'm very passionate about this. Like, it's not, I don't like hitting players. I don't like that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it makes sense of, oh, you hurt my feelings once 2 years ago, or for the entirety of the Dodgers case, 3 years ago, so now as a rebuttlement, I'm going to hit you with 95 in the rib cage. I don't like the hitting players portion and the intentional beanball portion of baseball. I think that's archaic and needs to be killed. But if you're going to do it, at least do it the way it's acceptable. Hit him in the ribs, stand your ground, and then deal with the consequences. Don't try to aim for the head and then dart off the mound as soon as you talk crap. It just... Joe Kelly bugged me. And then he acted like a toddler. Like, sticking his bottom lip out, like, making a crying face. Like, he was weird tonight. Like, I mean, there's no other way to put it. He looked weird, he acted weird. It's kind of a weird night overall. Like, it was an interesting game. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Game tomorrow, I believe, at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, and I wish I could tell you who's making the start, but we don't know it yet, which, that's a little terrifying, given that it's less than 24 hours away, and we don't know who's making the start. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, I hope you had a great day, and go Stros.